This is a short video on chapter 7.1 and 2. We're using a matrix, but on a TI-83 or 84. So instead of solving systems by hand, we can also use a matrix calculator. Determining your calculator is going to determine the method by which you do it. So first off, we're going to take all of your coefficients and place them into a matrix. And essentially, we're going to be dropping all of your variables and even the equal sign. So you can see we transferred it over to the other side. Now we also want to go to your graphing calculator and locate a certain button. This being what looks like x to the negative first button. This is actually your inverse button. We are not going to hit it yet though. Okay, we are going to be hitting the following series on your calculator. So we're going to hit this second, and then what looks like this, we'll just call it our matrix button. And then we're going to hit edit, and then we're going to be putting our matrix into A. There are other matrices that you'll be seeing. Perhaps you manipulate a whole bunch or wanted to save it for later, that sort of thing. But we're just going to be putting it into 1. And actually, before I say that, let's also figure out how many rows and columns we have on our matrix. So when we have a blank by blank, we are working on the rows here. This should be the rows, and the following should be the columns. So how many rows do you have in your matrix? Well, we have 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 rows by how many columns? We have 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to open up a 3 by 4. So going into your graphing calculator, if you're having trouble locating your matrix button, it is right next to the button that says sign, or right below the button that says math, or right above the button that says x squared. So that's kind of in the middle. Now notice above this little matrix button, it actually says in blue matrix. So we actually want to go and hit your second blue button and then this matrix button. Then we're going to go all the way over to edit. Now we can't just do names because we don't have any matrix in there yet. We actually have to build it. So let's go ahead and build ours. So now ours right now is a 1 by 1 row by 1 column. We said we needed 3 rows and 4 columns. Then as we're going to go down, we're just going to enter in your values. We're going to enter it in a 2. And if anytime I hit enter, it'll automatically go to the side. You can also use your little arrow button. I'm just going to be using just the enter button. Keep in mind, if you are doing any sort of negatives, you want to use the negative button over between your period and your enter. 1, -1. And there you have it. So this is our matrix. We always want to double check that our values are correct. Okay. So now let's go ahead and hit second mode so that we go back to a clear screen. All of these directions are found on your guided notes. We are then on step 6. So now let's move to step 7, where it says we're going to hit that second matrix button again. And notice we have entered in your values here. So now it says we have a 3 by 4 in A, which is great. We're going to go over to the math button and all the way down until you see RREF. We're going to go ahead and hit this one. And then we're going to actually go ahead and grab your matrix. So we're going to hit second matrix again, and we're going to go ahead and hit A and close your parentheses. Where if you chose to put yours in a different matrix, then you can put it in that one as well. Go ahead and hit enter, and notice what comes out is a new matrix. Let's go ahead and write this matrix on your page. So what came out? We said 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 1, negative 2. Okay. So depending on if you have seen the other video where we were doing this on Desmos, we said initially that this column right here are your X values. Oh, that's horrible. These being your X values, we said these values here are actually your Y values. We have your Z's, and we have your solutions. Okay, so how we can read it is that in this column, notice that your X value here is 1, and then we have no X's and no X's. Or if we're reading it to the side, we have 1 X, no Y's, no Z's, and a 2. So if we were to transform this back into your equation, notice that from above, we took all of these coefficients with your variable and we put it into a matrix where we dropped the variable. We also said, hey, there used to be an equal sign here, but we dropped all of those. We got rid of them. So now we're going in the reverse. We're saying we have 1 X value, and if we used to have an equal sign, we can put that back in, is equal to 2. Now this is one of your solutions. Now, if you were to try it again in your next row, we have no X's, we have 1 Y, no Z's is equal to 1. So we can just say we have 1 Y is equal to 1. Try the last one on your own. We have 1 Z is equal to negative 2. So these would be all of your solutions based on your graphing calculator. Now I'm just going to go ahead and highlight some of the important buttons that we're hitting. We said second mode. We had some of these, and right here. Now how we read our answer, we said that each row should have a 1 and 2 zeros if we're hitting this RREF button. Where we have your first column, which is your X values, your X variable. Your second column is comprised of your Y. Your third is your Z. And your fourth are your solutions. Now this concludes the video on doing a matrix on your graphing calculator.